What is going on, Swoopers? Welcome back to another episode of Swoop. In this episode, we are going to go over our draft haul. Let's get into it. Before we do get straight into it, my shop over on Redbubble is currently having a sale for like Black Friday, Cyber Monday sort of things. So one of the designs that I designed after the Premiership was this Premier's tee. It just really reminds me of like the t-shirts, Premier t-shirts from like the 90s, early 2000s. So I wanted to sort of invoke that with this. It's got the Flag Pies 2023 on it. But my absolute personal favorite has to be this. Premier's 2023. And you can see that the Magpie, some lions are running away from it. MCG. We lit the MCG on fire. And this is this graphic tee that's yeah, literally one of my one of the most favorite things I've ever done across this channel and stuff. I just think it looks really cool. It gives me like a D&D sort of old school retro graphic tee sort of vibe. But they're for sale, all shapes, all sizes. You know, there's kid sizes, there's all this other sort of stuff all over on Redbubble. Links down below. But now let's get into our draft picks. Earlier this week, the draft happened, the 2023 national draft. So you had Harley Reid go at pick 1, and that was always going to happen. Went to West Coast, put to bed any of that sort of uncertainty of if West Coast were going to, trade off their number 1 pick and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it was the first round on night 1, and we had our first pick. It was pick 19, but we ended up getting pick 27. Now that came because of academy biddings. I think Gold Coast, or not I think, I know Gold Coast at pick 3, they matched a bid for, I think it was Jed Walters at pick 3. So then they pushed up, and that pushed up us to pick 20. So then 6 other academy, and I think a couple of father sons happened in between that to go from our pick 19 all the way up to pick 27. With our first pick, we chose Harry Demattia, who is about 186 centimeters, 18 years old, obviously, draft kids, and a co-captain with Harley Reid for Vic Country, and then he co-captained the Dandenong Stingrays as well. He's a midfielder, sort of an inside mid, but very, very, very speedy, which we absolutely love. And Derek Hine, I think it was a day before the draft, came out and said, look, when we were interviewing, players and stuff, the kids for the draft, if you can't play our system, and our system is running off halfback, that run and gun sort of style, you won't get picked up. So we weren't picking up these guys that couldn't run. We picked up Harry, who just can run all day, one of the quickest during the combine as well. And the thing about Harry is that he is very versatile. With his height, very versatile. He can play as a small defender if you kind of wanted him to. Off the halfback, goes into the middle, and can play as a high half forward. I think I said it in that short video, that 1 minute sort of explainer that I posted up on this channel as well. Harry is that Taylor Adams replacement. Obviously not as big and as, in the guts as sort of Taylor Adams, but it's that sort of like for like where he can play that half forward role. He can run. He's a very good kick as well. So I think it offsets losing Taylor Adams. And of course you got Finn McRae who can also do that as well. What I love about Harry Demattia, and what the coaches love about Harry, is that this kid is a natural born leader. We just said that he co-captained Vic Country. We just said that he co-captained the Dandenong Stingrays. He is just, he already could be one of the leaders going into the future of this club. Like, Derek Hine came out and said after we drafted him that he had the coaches eating out of his hand for the way that he can speak and the way that he can hold himself. And, you saw it on the bunch of press conferences that he did, and after getting picked, where he just spoke so well. And I think that just says a lot about the characters that we're picking up going forward with this club, and the Craig McRae influence that's he has over who we draft, and we're drafting great personalities and great people. Like Scott Pendlebury, Harry came from a non-footballing background. He played cricket all the way up to pretty much, I think it was this year, February this year, where he chose to go into full footballing mode, and that was with, getting that co-captaincy with the Dandenong Stingrays. And he was in an elite program with cricket. He's in an elite program now at the Pies. So I think he's going to fit very well with us, and he could be one of those guys that gets a game very, very early on. I don't think it's sort of round one, sort of early on, but he could be one that debuts really early on. The second and last guy that we picked up is TJ, who is a 188 centimeter reliable intercept defender. He is a bit more of a prospect pick. He could have been picked up by Hawthorn in their NGA sort of academy, like we picked up Isaac Quaynor, but we picked him up at pick 37, so just out of Hawthorn's reach. They had to pick him up after pick 40 so they can bid on him. Derek Hine came out and said, now this is what I love about TJ. He came out and said that at the moment in his development, he is in a better position than his brother CJ, who is a gun at the Hawks now, was. So TJ right now is better than CJ was in TJ's similar position when he got drafted as a Cat B rookie at Hawthorn. And that says a lot. If he can play anything like his brother, it is going to be crazy. Now, we talked a little bit earlier about the sort of draft profile that we were going for. Quick, you got to be that run and gun. That's exactly what TJ does. He is a run and gun, run and carry player, intercept marker. He's going to be learning off the best of the best. Premiership players, Darcy Moore, Nathan Murphy, Premiership player Jeremy Howe, as that sort of intercept marking defender. He has a lot of room to grow. There's no ceiling on him, and he's going to be an interesting prospect to watch, through the VFL side this year. I don't anticipate he gets senior footy, but you never say never. Play the VFL. If he does well, bang, that's where we're going to go. Another thing that Derek Hine said was that, we were looking at, I always pronounce his name wrong, Dode from Adelaide, who went to Brisbane in that free agency, just as a little bit of coverage for Nathan Murphy. That was on the forefront of their minds. Derek Hine did come out and say that Nathan Murphy is good to go, which is incredible, and he's going to play on in 2024 after that another head knock in the grand final. But that's why we're picking up a player like TJ, who, if need be, he can slot into that Nathan Murphy position. Now, we passed on two of our picks in the rookie draft, and that was by design. What's going to happen now is we're going to have a bunch of train-on players for that supplementary position that we signed Oleg Markov on and Oscar Steen on at the start of this year. So I know one of the players is going to be Will Kelly. He's going to get another run. Josh Iyer as well, another big defender. So there's a couple of players that will be training with us over the summer and vying for those final two list spots. We will also be taking one draft pick into the mid-season draft, where we picked up Ash Johnson, where we picked up Johnny Noble. So, we didn't get an opportunity to be into the mid-season draft this season because all our list spots were taken. But now we've got three sort of picks to play with. And, what's great about that is kind of like, we're able to dictate what position. So say some ruckman or whatever it is, small forward goes down during the mid-season, you get that sort of player back into the mid-season draft. So I think that gives us a lot of flexibility, and I love that that's what we did. All up, I think this recruiting was really, really well. It's another Derek Hine masterclass. I think, people will say, oh, why don't we draft key position players? Why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? And I also said it too. Like, I loved these two guys, but I'm like, oh, we're always lacking that sort of key back or that key forward. And then when you think about it, you go, wait a second, you've got Billy Frampton that can come in, right? You've got Charlie Dean that can come in. In the forward line, you've got Nathan Kruger. You've got Dan McStay, didn't play the grand final, who's going to come in. Let the development, as harsh as it sounds, let the development of these bigger players go to the other clubs and then poach them, that they're ready to go. And who knows? We're not going for tall draft picks because maybe we're going for Max King at the end of this year. Maybe he doesn't want to play on the Gold Coast anymore and wants to come and vie for a triple back-to-back premiership look at in 2025. But all in all, I give this a B+, and I think we did really, really well for the two picks that we had. We picked to what we needed, and TJ is a bit of a prospect, but I think that Harry Demattia pickup is great. Albeit I didn't know much about these players going into when we picked them. But you know, as soon as you pick them, you see their highlights and stuff like that, and you go, "Wow, these guys are going to be amazing," and I can't wait to see what they look like. They're already at the club. They're already meeting the staff, the players, and stuff like that. So it's going to be an exciting preseason that starts on, I think it starts on Monday. So there's going to be more videos, more updates, more short form updates, and all of that. And also exclusive content over on my Patreon will start as soon as there's more content to do. It's going to be up on there as well. But until then, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets, and until next time, double shaggers, I'll soup you later.